some theories. Probably Sukarno is M1, also M1. And
he was a very important trustee.
Yeah. So who is M1? It's in the first video about M1. So now the second one, maybe we will ask you, who do you think is M1, or what are the criteria? Is it possible that the M1 person
Still exists?
Yeah.
It is possible. There are many elders living beyond 100 years, even till today, and they are guiding the destiny of our works also, of the international court systems, international bank, international governments. There are still the old committees or members alive of the original committees. One of the original committees, for example, is the Committee of 666. The Committee of 666 is a committee of elder patriarch, something like the elder senators. You know, it's like a committee of senators. When these kind of committees existed in the past, and other committees also started, like the Committee of 303, Committee of 300, all performing similar functions, where they would handle specific things and not mix with other committees so as to create conflict. This system of committees with special executives, special people mandated to do special things, a number of these committees formed, and through legends, over a period of time, the system of dragons came about. System of dragons. Now, what is the system of dragons? You look at what is the golden dragon. The golden dragon is that particular community, that particular group, that particular executive body that would exercise control over gold assets. Just to manage a planetary gold wealth requires very special people. And they have to be fierce, they have to be military, they have to be doctors, commanders, bankers, everything, you know, whatever they can be. So the head of such a committee, who would manage all the gold resources worldwide on this planet Earth, would be given the title of the Golden Dragon. Normally the Golden Dragon title would be reserved for the emperors, right? Because it's through their advice what to do, how to do. Similarly, the green dragon becomes the symbol of cash currency. Like we say, the US dollar is the greenback, right? Greenback currency. Everything is green. In the Politburo, the mention, that whole trust of the committee that adheres to the principle of cash currency, being backed by trees, you know, by the system of the environment. Cash comes out from the trees, right? And the special interest groups that protects the habitats, protects the environment, the trees, farming, irrigation, agriculture. That particular group is then codenamed the Green Dragon. Now, in order to service the requirements of these dragons, there are other dragon units formed which regulate all the water bodies throughout the planet. And water is considered blue. So the fountainhead of this particular group would be then called the Blue Dragon. Clear? Yeah. Similarly, there are white dragons, there are pink dragons, there are red dragons, all with a mandated function. It's not just you have these small groups of people. You know, they come up and they say they're dragon, they're dragon. Dragon is a special Politburo responsibility. But to make it legendary, that's why these things were put. Now, this phenomena is part of that 128 families And it is coming down from the time of, let's say, King Solomon, King David. The whole 2,500 years, 2,800 years of history from the past and coming until now, the same fundamentals. So in 1928, what was decided was how to regulate this planet, especially after the World War I. The system of the Solomon treasures and the King Solomon system of Templars. More than that, there are others also, like King Solomon, who managed great wealth. And King Solomon is one of the members of the 128 families. So that means apart from King Solomon, there are 127 entities like King Solomon who are that rich also, who must take care that there is sufficient resources available for everyone. So there were certain visions created from 1922 onwards, but in 1928, a great amount of wealth was printed, and that was printed in the form of Reichsmarks. It was printed in the form of the old German currency, the Asiatic dollars, and more important, special dollars that were of the value of 10,000, some 5,000 units, some 100,000 and $1 million notes. And this was supposed to be part of the interbank exchanges. Because individually, at that time in 1928, people could not hold that kind of big money, but the banks could. So this was a commodity for the banks. So how to regulate this was decided in 1928, and special articles created like Liberty bonds, farmers bonds. And today we are dealing with those articles. And no one thought that we, in this current age, 21st century, would be handling those historical assets of such precious value even then and even now. We are truly blessed and fortunate to have the opportunity of doing whatever we have been doing, to get possession of these assets and to redeem them, to monetize them, to settle them, and to create efficiencies in economy by creating new cash, new commodities, new currencies, and new development projects. This is all essentially, whatever we are doing is also the United Nations work. It is the World Bank work. It is the work of many, many UN agencies. And this is again what was decided in the years before and during 1928 in the United Nations at that time. So whatever we are discussing about doing now is part of the old UN, the old World Bank. And again, the same things are coming about in Malaysia. What was done by the British monarchy led certain companies at that time to regulate, to set up these kind of things. And the Central Bank of Malaysia, the Bank Negara Malaysia, the committee that was here in Malaya was also responsible for formulating all of these things which needed to be done in the future. So we are only adhering to what our ancestors have done, what records they have left, and what visions and mandates we are supposed to execute. And this is all part of the Too Good to Be True action plan. Because whether such big kind of wealth can exist, I mean, it's too good to be true, but it does exist. But it is for everyone to ensure that the future is protected, not only in the 21st century, 22nd century, 23rd century, 24th, 25th, and so on. So we hold a great amount of responsibility.
How can any individual like us ensure that this plan can go ahead?
In terms of responsibility,
Yeah, individual responsibility.
how you can ensure, we have dealt with that issue. There have always been individuals that have shown exemplary character in the sense that they have wanted to do something, and to do something immense, something big. And yet if you can't do something big, but yet to be part of some trust or organization and learn new things, better things, bigger things, understand. It has been very difficult working along these lines for many people. If you are genuinely, of a good nature, and you're righteous, you are honest, you have integrity or credibility, you will want to make sure you are part of institutions that support the things you want to do. Now there are institutions such as the International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court, even the Supreme Courts. They support these kind of services. They support these kind of plans because it's nurturing people, nurturing groups, families, or nurturing nations. And the court systems understand. So we created opportunities within the courts for people to enroll and register. We created opportunities for companies to register and become part of the court system, because by becoming members, by registering, you would automatically get a splendid kind of support coming from the institutions where you become legal in what you want to do. Previously, Malaysian citizens wanted to do a lot of things. In my own experience of observation from the 1990s, Malaysia, from the time of Dr. Tun Mahathir, came out to do something worthwhile. And a lot of things were done, but still many hiccups, many things were held. But the leadership turned Malaysia around. Malaysia was never this classy, right? But now Malaysia is classy. Malaysia is cool. It's cosmopolitan. There are a lot of things which need to be done. And I expect that with the courts system, with institutions such as TUE Capital and the TUE Capital group of companies, even JDIFA, the visions or the mandates of these companies, they are in line with the international courts. And being in line with the international court, they are in line with the original World Bank and the original United Nations. So when you are doing something to help even the World Bank and even the United Nations to achieve record success, there's nobody that can stop you, because you're already performing. Others are not performing. Sometimes we hear negative comments, but we have no choice. Okay, some negative feedback, you brush it aside and we move forward, because we know what we're doing. Others don't know. Those who do not know then must come and join us, because once we have started the engine of growth, that engine is not going to stop. It's like an aircraft engine. Even if the aircraft is standing, its engine is still working. Aircraft flying, engine is still working. So in TUE Capital, we have set up a redemption mechanism where it'll keep on moving. And we need to redeem most of these assets that we are talking about, the Templar assets. Otherwise, to sustain populations within Malaysia or on this planet Earth in the next 10 years, 50 years, 100 years will become very difficult if at this moment we do not release the budgets. So what we are doing is we are creating a system of budgets, sanctions, with the new assets coming in, with more revaluations, more redemptions, more settlements. We are able to create budgets for virtually everything, and everything that has been lacking in society is all based on the lack of resources, lack of funds, lack of capital. And we, in creation of the budgets, working with the governments, working with different parties, individuals, or different corporate groups, are still creating a system of budgets. So if certain groups talk to us, this is what they need. We ask them, you come, work together with us, and we'll release the budgets for you. It is not an easy thing because it requires intercommunication between many, many different parties. But we are getting there.
You mean it does not matter which country they come from, which nation they come from?
It doesn't matter.
They are eligible for that?
Everyone is eligible.
It's classified, it's like
Even children are eligible. There are some exceptional children that have shown great responsibility, or they have shown things that they can do. Children, youngsters should be taught about redemption work, because this entire subject matter is under the classification of central bank operations and the operation of the trusts and how the World Bank operates. People don't know how the World Bank operates. We know how the World Bank operates. So part of our work is interlinked with the World Bank Development Group.